Angela Morris was just 24 years old, but life had already thrown her a curveball. Recently, she lost her job at a local cafe, where she had worked hard to support herself and her 2 young children. Each day felt heavier than the last as worries piled up like a mountain. How would she pay for groceries? Would they have enough to eat? Sitting on a bench outside a downtown building, Angela felt the weight of the world pressing down on her. The vibrant city buzzed around her, but all she could hear were the doubts in her mind. She glanced at other people passing by, their lives seemingly perfect, and felt even more alone. Tears began to flow quietly down her cheeks as she tried to hide her sadness from everyone around her. In that moment of despair, something unexpected happened. Rosa Parks, known for her bravery and strength during the civil rights movement, was walking with a friend nearby. She noticed Angela's distress and decided to take action. Without saying a word, Rosa approached and sat down beside her. Her presence was warm and comforting, offering an unspoken understanding that made Angela feel less isolated. As the silence stretched between them, Angela continued to let her emotions out. It was a release, a moment of vulnerability shared with someone who had fought against much larger battles in life. After what felt like an eternity, Rosa gently placed a hand on Angela's back. With kind words that resonated deeply, she reminded Angela, "You are not weak. You are carrying more than most ever will." Those simple yet powerful words struck Angela's heart like lightning. In that instant, everything changed for her. That moment would become a turning point in her life, the day she found hope amid despair and realized she could start over again for the sake of her children. As Angela sat on the bench, the bustling sounds of the city faded into the background. She felt completely alone, trapped in a whirlwind of worries and fears. The vibrant life around her seemed like a world apart, where people moved with purpose, while she remained motionless, overwhelmed by her thoughts. Each tear that rolled down her cheek was filled with questions that echoed in her mind. How would she tell her children that there might not be enough food for dinner? What if she couldn't find another job? The weight of those worries pressed down on her heart like a heavy stone. It was hard to breathe as feelings of hopelessness wrapped around her like a thick fog. Angela thought about her little ones, their bright smiles and curious eyes. They relied on her to be strong, yet in this moment, she felt anything but strong. The pressure to provide and protect them was immense, and it made her feel as though she had failed. The fear of letting them down made her sob harder, wishing desperately for someone to understand what she was going through. She looked around at other people, who seemed blissfully unaware of her struggle. Mothers walked by holding hands with their children, families laughed together, and couples strolled arm in arm. Angela felt like an outsider in this vibrant world, as if she were stuck in a bubble of despair while everyone else enjoyed their lives. In that painful silence, as tears continued to fall, Angela felt a heavy ache in her chest. She yearned for support and encouragement but felt lost in her own thoughts. Little did she know that help was closer than she realized, waiting just beyond her tears. As Angela sat in her bubble of sadness, the world continued to move around her. People hurried by, lost in their own lives, but one person was different. Rosa Parks, known for her bravery and determination during the civil rights movement, was walking alongside a friend, engaged in conversation. Her eyes, sharp and compassionate, flicked toward Angela. In that brief moment, she sensed the weight of despair that hung around the young mother like a cloud. Rosa paused mid-sentence and turned towards Angela. The sight of the young woman quietly crying struck a chord deep within her. Without hesitation, she gently guided her friend to keep walking and approached the bench where Angela sat. There was no need for words at first. Sometimes silence speaks volumes. Rosa simply sat down beside Angela, offering her presence as a comforting shield from the bustling world around them. Angela felt startled by this sudden company but also an unexpected warmth from Rosa's silent support. As she continued to cry, the gentle touch of Rosa's hand on her back provided a sense of security, a reminder that she wasn't alone in her struggle. It was a moment filled with unspoken understanding, a connection between two women from different worlds yet linked by their shared humanity. While the vibrant city carried on with its usual rhythm, time seemed to stand still for Angela as she released her emotions. The kindness of a stranger offered her a lifeline, even if she didn't fully realize it yet. Rosa simply sat there, embodying strength and compassion without uttering a single word at first. It was this quiet act of solidarity that would leave an indelible mark on Angela's heart, a moment that would soon spark change within her life when she needed it most. In that moment of quiet anguish, the power of connection began to unfold. Rosa Parks, with her calm demeanor and compassionate presence, became a beacon of hope for Angela. Without needing to say anything, she communicated understanding and empathy simply by being there. This silent support was profound. It whispered to Angela that she was not invisible, that her struggles were acknowledged by someone who truly seemed to care. As Rosa sat beside her, a sense of comfort enveloped Angela like a warm blanket. The world around them continued its chaotic pace, but for Angela, time slowed down. The gentle touch of Rosa's hand on her back acted as a reminder that human connection could provide solace even in the darkest moments. It was a gesture that spoke volumes, one that conveyed strength and solidarity without uttering a single word. Angela felt the tension in her chest begin to ease. The tears that had flowed freely now felt lighter, as if shared with someone who understood what she was going through. In that stillness, the weight of isolation started to lift, replaced by a burgeoning sense of hope. It dawned on Angela that her feelings were valid and that she did not have to face her struggles alone. Rosa's presence illuminated the path forward, showing Angela that vulnerability could be met with compassion. This simple act of sitting together on a bench forged a connection that transcended words. It reminded Angela of the strength found in community and support. She learned that sometimes, all it takes is for someone to be there, to listen silently and provide comfort, transforming despair into resilience. It was in this moment that Angela discovered the healing power of human connection, setting the stage for her journey toward renewal and strength. After a long silence, Rosa Parks turned to Angela with a look of understanding in her eyes. The city's noise faded into the background as she focused solely on the young mother beside her. Rosa gently spoke, her voice calm and soothing. "You are not weak. You are carrying more than most ever will." In that moment, her words took root deep within Angela. They penetrated the fog of hopelessness that had clouded her mind, offering both clarity and strength. It was as if Rosa had reached into Angela's heart and pulled out the very essence of her struggle, shaping it into something meaningful. For the first time in a while, Angela felt seen and acknowledged. Rosa continued, "Life can be incredibly tough, but it's these tough times that teach us about our own strength." Each word resonated with Angela like a gentle reminder that pain and struggle do not define a person. Instead, they shape resilience and fortitude. The idea that enduring hardships could lead to growth offered Angela a glimmer of hope she hadn't anticipated. Angela listened intently as Rosa spoke, feeling the tension in her chest gradually ease. It was as if each word allowed her to release a bit of the burden she had been carrying alone. Rosa's compassionate presence encouraged Angela to reflect on her journey, the sleepless nights worrying about bills, the anxiety that accompanied her recent job loss, and the love she felt for her children. All these experiences were part of her story, shaping her into someone who could rise again. With newfound resolve sparked by Rosa's encouragement, Angela felt ready to embrace the challenges ahead. Her spirit began to shift. Instead of drowning in despair, she felt a growing sense of determination to not only survive but to thrive for her children. This pivotal moment would forever change the course of her life and serve as a lasting reminder of the strength that comes from perseverance and hope. The impact of Rosa Parks' words began to ripple through Angela's heart, igniting a spark of change within her. In that moment of vulnerability, Angela realized she had been defining herself by her struggles rather than by her strength. Rosa's message, "You are not weak," resonated with a truth that Angela had been unable to see through the fog of despair. As the weight of Rosa's encouragement settled in, Angela felt a shift in her mindset. The tears that had once represented her hopelessness now became a symbol of release and transformation. She reflected on the challenges she had faced, sleepless nights worrying about bills, the endless cycle of searching for work, and the love and responsibility she held for her children. Each of these experiences was not merely a burden, they were stepping stones that had shaped her resilience. With Rosa's words echoing in her mind, Angela began to visualize a new path forward. Instead of feeling crushed by her circumstances, she started to embrace them as part of her journey, a journey that was filled with potential for growth. This realization fueled a sense of determination in her. She was no longer just a mother struggling to get by, but a woman who could rise above adversity. Angela imagined herself taking small steps toward rebuilding her life. She thought about exploring new job opportunities and reaching out to friends and family for support. The idea of seeking help felt less daunting now, knowing that she had the strength to face whatever came next. Rosa's compassionate presence illuminated Angela's self-worth, igniting a fire within that encouraged her to not only survive but to thrive for the sake of her children. From that day forward, Angela vowed to embrace each challenge as an opportunity for growth, marking the beginning of her transformation into a resilient and empowered mother ready to reclaim her life. The impact of Rosa Parks' kindness lingered in Angela's heart long after their encounter on the bench. It was a simple act, just sitting next to her and offering a comforting hand, but it had become a defining moment in Angela's life. This unexpected compassion reminded her that even during her darkest times, there were people who cared and understood her struggle. Angela began to reflect on Rosa's message about strength. The realization that kindness could come from someone who was once a stranger ignited a sense of empowerment within her. She felt motivated to take control of her life and recognize the potential for change. No longer would she allow despair to dictate her actions. Instead, she envisioned a future where she could rise above her circumstances. With each passing day, Angela found herself drawing on the memory of Rosa's support as a source of inspiration. She started making small but significant changes in her life. The very next week, she reached out to local job fairs and attended workshops aimed at building skills for employment. With each new opportunity, she felt more like herself again, stronger and more determined. Angela also decided to share Rosa's message of kindness with others. She began volunteering at a local community center, helping families in similar situations. By extending her support to others, she not only found purpose but also nurtured the same sense of connection that Rosa had offered her. As Angela continued on this path of growth, she realized how powerful acts of kindness can be. They ripple outward, creating waves of change not just for those who receive them but also for those who give. The impact of Rosa Parks' simple yet profound gesture became a cornerstone in Angela's journey, reminding her that even the smallest acts can leave lasting impressions and transform lives for the better. With Rosa Parks' words echoing in her mind, Angela set out on a new path filled with determination and hope. The first step in her journey was to update her resume, which had been neglected during her time of despair. She spent hours at the library researching job opportunities and refining her skills. Each keystroke on her computer became a building block toward a brighter future for herself and her children. Angela also sought support from local community organizations that offered job training and resources for single parents. She attended workshops on interview techniques and learned how to present herself confidently. During these sessions, she found camaraderie with other mothers facing similar struggles, which bolstered her spirit even further. They encouraged one another, sharing tips and advice, creating a network of support that Angela deeply appreciated. After attending several interviews, Angela finally received a call for a position at a local nonprofit organization focused on helping families in need. When she got the news, tears of joy streamed down her face. This new job would not only provide financial stability, but also align with her passion for helping others, a beautiful circle completing itself. With each passing day at work, Angela began to rebuild her confidence. She realized she was not just a mother trying to make ends meet, she was a professional contributing to the community that had once felt so distant from her reality. Her coworkers recognized her dedication and resilience, which further fueled her sense of self-worth. As the weeks turned into months, Angela also implemented small changes at home to establish routines that made life easier for her children. They spent evenings together cooking meals or reading stories, strengthening their bond and creating joyful memories amid their challenges. Through these steps, Angela transformed not only her circumstances but also the way she viewed herself as a mother and a person. She learned that life's hurdles could be overcome with perseverance, support, and kindness, both given and received. With renewed strength and purpose, Angela was ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing she had the capability to rise above any challenge for the sake of her children. Angela's journey highlights the powerful legacy that small moments of compassion can create in people's lives. When Rosa Parks sat beside Angela on that bench, she didn't realize the profound effect her simple act of kindness would have on the young mother. In a world that often feels disconnected, Rosa's willingness to reach out and provide silent support became a lifeline for Angela in her time of need. This encounter served as a beautiful reminder that compassion doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes, just being present can mean everything to someone who feels invisible or overwhelmed. Rosa's words, gently spoken and filled with understanding, validated Angela's struggles and reignited her hope. It was a moment that changed the trajectory of Angela's life. It encouraged her to find strength she hadn't acknowledged before. As Angela embraced positive changes in her life, she carried forward this legacy of support by helping others in her community. By volunteering her time and sharing her story with fellow mothers facing similar challenges, she created a ripple effect of kindness. Each small act of generosity she offered was inspired by the compassion that Rosa had shown her, a beautiful cycle of giving back and uplifting those around her. Angela's transformation speaks volumes about the impact one person can have on another's life. It shows how even brief encounters can foster resilience, empower individuals, and lead to significant change. Small moments of kindness can create a sense of belonging and hope that lasts far beyond their initial occurrence. Ultimately, Angela Moore's story tells us that we all have the potential to be agents of change in each other's lives. Just like Rosa Parks did for Angela, we can choose to listen, empathize, and support one another through our struggles. In doing so, we foster a community where compassion thrives, proving that no act of kindness is ever too small to make a difference. As Angela Morris reflected on her journey, she recognized the power of resilience and hope that had blossomed from a moment of despair. Her experience with Rosa Parks taught her that even in the darkest times, there is strength to be found in vulnerability and compassion. Rosa's simple act of sitting beside Angela not only transformed her outlook but also ignited a fire within her to help others facing similar struggles. Resilience is not just about enduring hardships, it's also about rising from them stronger than before. Angela learned that by embracing her challenges and seeking support, she could reclaim control over her life. This newfound strength empowered her to become a beacon of hope for others in need, proving that when we lift one another up, we create a community fortified by kindness and empathy. Angela's story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of helping others during difficult times. Each small act of kindness can have a ripple effect, inspiring individuals to persevere through their own challenges. Whether it's offering a listening ear, volunteering time, or simply sharing words of encouragement, these gestures can make a significant difference in someone's life. In today's world, where many people feel isolated or overwhelmed by their struggles, it is vital to reach out and provide support. By showing compassion and understanding, we foster an environment where resilience can thrive. Angela's transformation illustrates how we all possess the ability to effect change, not only in our lives but also in the lives of those around us. As we reflect on Angela's journey, let it inspire us to be mindful of our actions and words. We never know how a simple moment of kindness might impact someone deeply. Together, we can create a world where hope flourishes, and every individual feels valued and supported in their pursuit of a brighter future.